You've heard of hikers getting lost in the wild, but not many are lucky enough to be rescued by a Yeti with a backpack full of granola bars and a heart made of snowflakes. High in the whispering peaks of the Grumblethorn Mountains, where GPS fails and your phone is only good for skipping like a rock, lives our unlikely hero, Yeti Bob. Fluffy, shy, fond of warm soup and bird watching, Bob is what scientists call an enigma, but the squirrels just call him Bob. Today was just like any other day. Birds chirping, snow crunching, and Bob attempting Tai Chi on a frozen stump, until he heard it. A distant, "Hello?" Enter Jesse, an overconfident camper, a self-declared survival expert who packed nothing but trail mix, a hammock, and a YouTube playlist called How to Start a Fire with Sass. She'd taken a shortcut, which turned into a long cut, which eventually became, "Help, I'm stuck in the woods without cell signal, cold, tired, slightly annoyed that her granola bars had frozen solid." Jesse was in trouble. And that's when Bob showed up, or rather, fell out of a tree while trying to rescue a stuck kite, his own kite. Jesse gasps, Bob stares, birds scatter. Jesse froze, Bob blinked. Then Bob offered a pine cone, like a peace offering. Jesse screamed, Bob screamed back. It was a bonding moment. Then Bob noticed the frostbite starting on her nose and the way her boots were tied like pretzels. He pointed to the sky, mimed shelter, and led her, gently but awkwardly, into the woods. Bob, as it turns out, was not the terrifying beast the legends warned about. He was more like an anxious camp counselor with fur. He built Jesse a fire by accidentally sneezing on dry moss. He made her soup out of snowmelt, pine needles, and something he called yum root. Jesse gave it a 410. And when night fell, Bob tucked her into a hollow log with moss pillows and a snoring raccoon named Gary. Jesse tried to teach Bob about compasses. Bob tried to teach Jesse how to talk to owls. They both failed, spectacularly, but they laughed. And slowly, the fear melted. But the mountains are as moody as a teenager with no Wi-Fi. A snowstorm rolled in, fast and heavy. Jesse's camp was buried. The trail, gone. Visibility dropped to a white blur. Jesse started to panic, but Bob didn't. He howled, a low, echoing sound that vibrated through the trees. Moments later, echoes returned. A response. Bob was calling. The whispering herd. A mysterious line of shaggy mountain yaks who owed Bob a few favors. They arrived, en masse, like Uber XL but fluffier. With the help of his woolly friends, Bob led Jesse down a forgotten ridge trail only known to creatures of the snow. By morning, they reached a ranger's outpost. Jesse was safe. She turned to Bob, half expecting him to disappear into mist like some mythical guardian. Instead, Yeti Bob waved, then tripped over a shovel, got his foot stuck in a bird bath, and accidentally knocked over a weather station. Classic Bob. Jesse offered him her compass, still not working but meaningful. Bob handed her his kite. They exchanged a look. The kind you only get from a weekend of weird soup, storm survival, and learning that monsters can be heroes. Jesse returned to the world of phones and lattes. Bob went back to his mountain, his books, and occasionally photobombing drone footage. But once a year, on the first snow, a package arrives at the ranger station addressed to Bob the Yeti. Inside, bagels, tea, and a new kite. And so the legend of Yeti Bob grew, not as a creature of terror, but as a gentle soul with awkward charm and surprisingly good wilderness instincts. In a world quick to judge what's different, sometimes all it takes is a lost camper, a little kindness, and a Yeti with terrible balance. If you believe kindness comes in all shapes and sizes, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the wild side.